Hey y'all, it's Shelby with Shelb's Crafty VIP, and we are making a rag bow today. So I have y'all at a weird angle, but that's hopefully so you guys can see close and see what I'm doing. And this is going to be super fun. I've made a couple of rag bows before, different styles. So this is not supposed to be something that's perfect. If you're a crafter, you are quickly learning that nothing is perfect. It's just fun and you make it. So that's what this is going to be. So I don't even know what material I'm using yet. I grabbed some fat quarters and some other materials that I already had in stock, and we're just going to kind of play around with it and see what we can make. So let's see what I already have. I have more material than I thought I did. Okay, we're not doing anything leopard. I'm going to put that up. Okay, so I have this houndstooth. That's really pretty because I definitely want black and white. But I also have this black and white stripe. So we might just use that. We might not use that houndstooth. That's kind of a little bit busier than what I'm going for. We have this hot pink. We have this red, and then these fat quarters. I just got these at Walmart, but you can get these at Walmart, Hobby Lobby. They're like $1. And fat quarters are great for these. And so I have this light pink. I got 2 of the red polka dots. I thought they were precious. And I also got 2 of this black and white like Swiss dot, like that ribbon we love. So I thought that was super pretty. And then I got this other shade of pink. So let's see. You can use as many different ribbons as you want. It kind of just depends on what you're going for with the with your rag bow. Puppy, you've got to get out from under my feet. Okay. Let's see. It's a lot of red. I don't think I want that hot pink. It's a little gaudier than what I'm going for. Okay, so if we use, let's see, we have this red, and then if we put this Swiss dot on top of it, this coral. Do I want this coral or do we want the light pink? I'm kind of digging the light pink. This would be super cute as like a shabby chic. If you had some like burlaps and stuff to go with it. That'd be super cute. These two together are also really, really cute. So we're just going to cut all this up and see how we want to pair it up. Now also, what I like to do with my rag bows, you need to have some textures in there. That way it's not just ribbon. So in Hobby Lobby, their ribbons are 50% off this week, and also the ribbon in the back by the fabric. They have these different trims and ribbons and everything too that are also 50% off. So I grabbed several. Okay, look how cute that one is. That way we can really put a pop of Valentine in it. So it's only 12 foot and it was $1.99, so it was $1. I got this Harlequin print because I don't carry Harlequin print and anything else. So I grabbed this so we can add that pop. And this red like rickrack that I thought was really cute. And then we also have, I bought this for something different. But if we wanted to, we could add a pop of this white lace. And then I also bought it in black. And this was all from Hobby Lobby. And then we also need a button for the middle. So also back there, I just bought a 2-pack of these buttons. They have so many different ones. And I just thought these were really pretty because they didn't, a lot of them have pearls and I wasn't really going for pearl. Now, this might be a long tutorial just because the majority of the time you spend is cutting up your fabric. So, here's what we're going to do. These are actually, I bought these the last time, and so they're actually really big pieces. Let's see how long this is. This is about 26 inches. I'm not making an enormous rag bow, but we do want it to have some different layers. I don't necessarily want to cut it this way either because I want it to have the black and white stripe. So we're going to try to cut this one this way. That way it has the constant stripe. I was just making sure it was going to be long enough for what we want to do because we are going to, you know, it's going to be in half when you fold it for your bow. So it's only going to be about 13 inches, but I think that's plenty long enough for the rag bow that I'm going for. Now, something else that you can do is starch. A lot of these rag bows that you buy on Etsy are starched, and it just gives it this like fullness and this crunchy feeling, which is awesome. I love it. But I didn't starch this one. Now, I might starch it after I'm done, but it's going to take a while to dry if I do it that way. So if you want to starch your rag bow, I would recommend getting all of your ribbons and starching them first. And how you would do that is, well, you just go ahead and you would starch the whole thing. So you would take this and you would get that powder starch, or not the spray, but like the powder starch or liquid starch, and mix it in with some boiling water. And you would dip and let this soak in it for a little bit, and then you would take it out and let it completely air dry. That's going to completely starch it, and then you can cut it up, and then your rag bow is going to be starched. I'm probably going to make my rag bow, and I might dip it in that and then just let it hang dry. It's going to take a while. I don't know, we might just not starch it at all. Because if you don't starch it, it kind of just gives it that shabby chic, really like rag bow feel. So you have both ways of doing that. Stop whining, I'm busy. You're such a needy puppy. Now you have two ways of doing this. I'm going to cut these at about, we want some different lengths, different widths. So I'm going to cut a few at 2 inches. And so I'm going to cut it and we're going to try to rip it. We're going to see how it rips. Now this one didn't follow pattern, so see, it got skinnier, so now it's trash. So we're going to cut these because this is just regular material. Muslin material is a really good material to use for something like this. All right, so let's try that again. Stop whining. He wants to be constantly held. He's only 8 weeks old, y'all. You know what? I'm going to try it one more time. Maybe that side was uneven. Okay, yeah. And I'm just going to work my way down. And we're just going to rip it. Now, it does make a mess. It's very stringy. It's a lot easier than just constantly trying to cut all of these. You will get a serious hand cramp. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do, let's see, we'll do, this will make 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to do 6 at the 2-inch mark. Now I am following it down because that I think that's going to help it stay at its proper width. And this just helps it go faster. And now just keep your piles separated. You're going to have a lot of string to trim. If you do the rip method, it's going to be stringy. I like it. It's shabby chic. But you can cut it if you want to. Starching also helps with that as well. Now this is, like I said, this is just from Hobby Lobby. So it's just their regular cotton fabric. You can get the muslin fabric. It's a little more expensive, but it's great. For these, you can buy fabric online. All right, 2 more. Okay, now we're going to need some 1-inchers. And it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just, you know, you want some bigger, you want some smaller. And then you're going to want some even smaller than that. Actually, we're going to cut double the amount of 1 inch or close to it. Let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then the rest of this fabric, we're really going to cut between 1 inch and 1/2 inch. And how much fabric you need really just varies. It just depends on how many different fabrics you're using and, you know, the style that you're making. You can make these rag bows as thin or as thick as you want. Now I want to keep my piles separate. So I want to keep my 2 inchers by themselves, my 1 inchers by themselves, and the even smaller ones by themselves. And you'll see why in just a little bit. It makes it just a little bit easier. Like I said, this part's going to take a while, guys. The whole part, making the rag bow is easy. Cutting all of this is the time-consuming part. Especially if you starch it first. And your arms will get very tired if this is the method that you choose. It's kind of stress relieving though, just kind of work your way down and rip all this. Now these smaller pieces are a little bit harder. Once you start ripping them though, they stay pretty straight and it's almost easier than cutting them. You know what? I should have cut this bottom border off first. Because now I'm going to have to go back and cut it off once we get it on there, but that's okay. But you can take as long as you want, and you can make this as perfect and as clean as you'd like. You know, if you want to cut all of your ribbons, or if you want to sell these on Etsy, you know, this is very cheap to make, very cheap. It's just labor. It's very labor intensive. So just make sure you're making enough money to account for your time. And shop on Etsy. Just see, you know, see what everybody else is charging. But also do something that sets your rag bows apart so that people want to buy them. Whether that's adding the different stuff. A lot of people will add like chunky yarn, pearls, burlap, lace. You know, you can add anything into here. Whatever's going to make it fun. My arms are on fire. And we might not even use all this because I have so many different ones. I'm actually holding off on that one. I'm tired of it. Moving on. All right, fat quarters. Let's see, how big is this piece? 18 by 21. Now I don't think we need 18 pieces. So, let's see. So see, this is just 18. We're getting 18 1-inch pieces. Duh. I don't need that many. So we're going to need some 2-inchers. All right. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to go smaller. All right, let's see if this one's going to rip good for us. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. Okay. That one ripped easier than the other one. And I just got these, like I said, at Walmart. I think the pattern ones were like $1.57. And then the solids were $1. Oh, that ripped so much easier. My arms aren't as tired. Now, I don't know what that says about the quality of the material. You don't have to have high quality material to make these. It's just a rag bow. I do recommend starching, guys, because crunchy rag bows are life. But I wanted to do this today, and I did not have time to starch. But once I make it, I will starch it and let you guys know how it goes. Okay, let's put these with a 2-inch, these with a little bit smaller, and these with a small. All right, let's go ahead and clip off some of these strings. They're just hanging out. All right, let's move on to this red polka dot that I think is so pretty. It reminds me of that song, the itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini. Well, this is red polka dot, but whatever. It's such a like 50s color. I could be totally wrong. That's what it reminds me of. Let's see if I can just rip this border off. Yeah. Perfect. Trust me, guys, the more you can rip, the better. Because you will, seriously, the first time I made a rag bow, I sat here and I just did this the whole way down, and you were going to get a bad hand cramp. Trust me. Trust. And y'all just saw me not measure it. I literally just eyeballed it. Because you're going to see there's no point in measuring these in the end. And this is such a great stress relief. I would 10 out of 10 recommend. Even if you don't use it for anything, spend $1 and rip up one of these. I'm going to go ahead and cut up this other red one because I really want that to stand out. So I want to make sure I have enough. Oops, I did not separate those. I just kept ripping. Let me try. Separate into my piles. Okay, where are we at? We really have a lot of red and black. So if we're going Valentine, I definitely think we need to throw in some pink. So I'm going to go ahead and do both of these shades of pink. This one would be really pretty for Easter, or shabby chic for sure. But like a floral Easter design, because it's like a coral color. Okay, see, this has a little bit of a border on the bottom too. It's pink, but it's still a different type, so I'm just going to go ahead and take it off. If I can rip it. That one does not want to rip. So we're just going to have to cut it. Okay, so my 2-inch strips are going to go in the streamers of my bow. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to go ahead and do 5. And then the smaller pieces are going into the actual bow part on the top. So let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Because you're going to realize that that part of your bow, that's going to be thick too. But the small parts can go on the bottom too. We're going to build that first bow first. That way whatever's left over can go into the streamers of the bottom. That was tiny. Don't cut them too small because sometimes when you do, it doesn't give it any room and it'll kind of curl up, which is fine. We're going for shabby chic, whatever. It's going to be fine, but I'm just saying. Oh my gosh, guys. My nose is itching like crazy. I've told you that so many times, but when the weather changes around here, it gets my nose itching so bad. It's just that East Texas weather, I guess. I'm just so tired of this stinking weather change and it is driving me bananas. This is such a beautiful color. I love the color coral. Sounds like someone's home. I'm going to have to shut my door. Yeah. Hang on, guys. I'm going to shut my door. Oh, didn't separate those. I cannot wait to move into my shed. I can't wait.
Stop whining. You were just sleeping just fine. You're fine. You're a fine baby. It's okay.
I'm telling you all, it's like having a newborn. Okay, so this one, let's see, just some solid red. We'll throw that in there too. I'm going to go ahead though, and I'm going to go ahead and cut it into a smaller piece. I'm not trying to do this whole thing like I did in the black and white, because Lord knows my arm got so tired. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut this smaller. We're not going to use that part. And I'm going to cut this border off the bottom real quick. There we go. Okay. Let's go ahead and chop this one up. Hobby Lobby has their fabric on sale, like 30% off every other week. But I 10 out of 10 would recommend those fat quarters. Like, they rip so easy, which this one ain't doing too bad. That black and white was just thick. Just rip these up. And then we will be done. I have this other black and white, but we'll see if we need it. Okay. Separate this out a little bit because I didn't. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and do this one. I feel like we're going to need it because I want to make a pretty good sized bow. So just a couple more minutes of ripping this one up. So, you know, it looks like it's going to take us about 30 minutes to do this part. And then probably, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes. You should be able to do a rag bow in an hour. So it's an hour of your time. And let's see, we used 2 of these. So that's $3. The pink one was $1, so that's $4. 2 of the red, that's another, 2 of the red polka dot, that's another $3, that's $7. The coral makes it $8. And this one's probably about the same, so $9, $10. I mean, you're talking about probably $15 worth of material total. So really, I think people sell their rag bows between 30, 40, 50, just depending on what they put into them.
Stop whining, please.
Also, though, if you, if you could order your material online, you could probably buy it in bulk if this is something that you actually wanted to sit and make. And, get your product costs down even more. And the more extravagant you make, the more expensive you can charge. Ooh, I cut that one very crooked. This one's going to be a shorter piece. I'm going to have to cut that off. Okay, smaller, 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 bigger. Okay, now we need a tie. So we'll probably we're going to use one of these red pieces. Actually, we're going to use 2 of them. So we're going to cut this. Because you want to use a tie that blends with your bow. And something that's gonna hold it very well. We're gonna use 2 of them. Oh my gosh, puppy, please stop whining. Don't you know I'm trying to teach? Look, say hi to everyone. Say hi, Smokey. Hi. baby. Maybe I'll lay down on the table. Lay down. Here, you can have Mama's leftover fabric. Lay down. Lay down. Go nap. Take a nap. Take a nap. I know. Oh my goodness. Okay, but you gotta get in. I'm busy. I'm busy. I'm busy. Okay, so let's take these ties and we're gonna go ahead and, let's see. I'm just gonna tie one in the middle. We're just gonna make a middle knot. So we really want this to be strong for our bow. And we're just gonna go ahead and lay that out just like this. I'm hoping he's gonna stop whining in a minute, guys. I'm so sorry. Okay, so now we're gonna start building. We are gonna make our top bow first, and then we're gonna make our ribbons. So I'm gonna go ahead and start. These are the pieces that we're using, the little pieces that we made. So we made 2 different sizes of little pieces, so we're gonna start with the bigger ones on the bottom. I'm gonna take a strand. Now, these patterned ones are only one-sided, so we're gonna have to twist just like we do our other bows. So I'm gonna pull a little bit past this knot, because if you put it right on top, when you tighten it, it's gonna yank right out. Now I'm gonna use the border part that I forgot to cut off right there so you don't see it, okay? We're gonna fold this over and we're gonna make a loop. Now this loop is probably, let's say 5 inches. You don't want it too big because you are using material that's not wired. It's not gonna hold itself up, and that's where the starch comes into play. So now we're gonna twist it and we're gonna just fold it back over. Oops. Twist it and fold it back over. Just like that. We're gonna get our second material. Let's see, we're gonna go red polka dot. See, now these are short and it's one-sided, so you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna fold it over just like that. That took away all the twisting and everything that I had to do. Just like that. We're gonna take a black and white polka dot piece. And we're gonna do the same thing. So this is why these fat quarters are not as big. So it's gonna make this a little bit smaller, and that's okay. Now let's take, and you also can, let's see, we're gonna redo this, okay? This one's straight, and so we're gonna make it like we do our funky bow. I'm actually gonna make this a little bit smaller to coordinate with the other bows. And I'm not gonna twist it either. I'm just gonna fold it like we did the other one. Just like that. And then we're gonna take this one and we're gonna lay it and we're gonna angle it just a little bit. Oh, my husband's calling. Hang on, let me text him. And then we're gonna angle this one the other way. So now we're building our bow. Now where's my pink? These are teeny tiny. They need to go on top. Oh. Excuse me. Whew. I'm telling y'all, this weather change, it's got me going crazy. And do you see, guys, what I'm doing? I'm taking it and I'm bringing them in to join and overlapping them just like that. And now I'm going to put this one straight. Since I already had my straight one, I made my X, and now I'm going to put this one straight. Now where's that coral? I don't have much of those, and I have more of this, so I'm gonna go ahead and come in again with my black and white because I have more of it, and then we can start the colors we don't have much of. We'll place closer to the top, but we really want to build this base first. And I'm gonna cut this off. I'm gonna shorten it. just a little bit. I don't want a ton of overlap, and I want it to match up. See, it's still really big. I want it to be the same length, about 21 inches like the others. Okay, so what's my last angle? So we're going to angle it this way. And then I'm going to get the red and white polka dot. And I'm just folding it. And I'm going to angle it this way. And I'm not trying to stack. I'm trying to not make everything perfect. I want them to stack to where they're all different. They're not in the same track. They're angled and everything, but I want to be able to basically see all of them. Okay, now I'm going to grab a coral. Since I did the light pink last time, I'm going to grab this coral. Fold it over. And we're going to go straight like that. And we're just going to continue building with our smaller pieces because we want this part to be pretty thick. I'm going to go ahead and cut off the black and white like I did. These strings are a mess. You're going to have a mess when you get done. But it's no different than glitter, I guess. Fold it over. And I'm going to diagonal it the opposite way that I did the black and white last time. That way everything's good and spread out. Now, I'm not getting too far up because if so, it's just going to flop forward when you hang it up. So just make sure you're keeping more of an X look. Let's see, red and white polka dot. And I'm going slow because we're doing a tutorial, but you know, really, if you're, you know, making these, you can really get fast at this. You kind of just really throw it together. So I'm trying to be mindful and use my thicker pieces toward the bottom, not the big thick pieces, but we are going to save some of these to put in with the bow as well. I'm going to put that one straight. I'm going to come in, let's see, light pink. Go ahead and angle this one. Let's see which one angled last that way. Okay. And let's go ahead and add another black and white polka dot. And a stripe. Red and white. Oh, same angle, coming this way. Now you can also use an easy bow maker or the bow dabra like this and do the same thing if you're needing something to hold it. But if you do this fold method, it makes it pretty easy. But if you're needing something to hold it, you can just stick it down in here and just start stacking it. Just make sure you put this tie down first. You're gonna want your tie first, I promise. Okay, let's go coral. I definitely don't want to use up all of my colors before I make it to the bow, to the rag bow part. The streamer part. All right. Now we're going to start working our way in, making it shorter and shorter. We're just going to start, see, we've already kind of started bringing it in, but we're going to make them smaller and smaller until we get to about, not all the way obviously, but right here. And that's going to, those short ones are really going to help this back part lay a little more flat. Tiny pieces. Those are so tiny, and that's okay. It's a rag bow. It's what it's supposed to be. Don't stress it. So many strings though. So if we do need to clip these a little bit shorter, that way those tails when we fold it in aren't too long. See, now we're going to start making a smaller bow. And I think I have the perfect sign for this to go with in our wreath. So we'll probably do that as a tutorial next week, since I'm probably going to starch this over the weekend. So the one thing about, see now, when you starch them too, you can let them air dry and you can actually iron them where they're creased. Oh, I need to cut it. Need it shorter. All right, fold it in. This creased one's giving me fits. There we go. No one knows how to shut a door in this house quietly. They slam them every time. Have I mentioned that I'm so ready to get up to my shed? My husband and I were talking about that today. So I'm really hoping it's gonna get insulated within the next like 2 weeks. So I'm pretty excited about that. Because after insulation, which the electrical, gotta run the electrical, that stinks. But after that, it should go pretty fast. Okay, let's go small, black and white. I feel like if I just don't pay him any attention, he'll stop whining. But he hears people walking outside, but as soon as I let him out, he's gonna come back to my door and whine. Because nobody's out there. He just heard, they just went outside. Too long. So now that we're getting close to the top, we're going to be putting our button on there. And so when we put our button, you don't want these sticking out too much because they'll flop over that button. So that's why we're making sure to cut them. Oh, so now it's just laying on top of my foot. Whatever comforts him, I guess. Okay, we're almost done with this part, guys. Let's just add a few more pieces. Like I said, I've only made a couple of these, so it's not like just muscle memory where I can just fly through it necessarily either. Let's go ahead and let's see. Do I have any small coral pieces? Yeah. Throw one of these in the top. I'm going to keep some of that color in there. And we'll finish it off with this black and white. Okay, let's see. How are we sitting? Let's do a couple of smaller pieces. Let's bring in a few smaller pieces. Let's just work it in a little bit more. Like so. I used up all my skinnies. These are kind of wide. Oh, that one was tiny. That's okay. Just like that. I'm actually going to double cross that one like so, and then we're going to finish it off with the black and white. We're going to finish it just like that. Okay, so now, I hope this stayed stacked well and treats me good when I tie it up. Because we're going to run this across the middle here. And we're going to run this one across the middle here. And I'm going to kind of try to keep it as flat as possible there. For my button, we're going to flip it over. Move those other two ties out of the way. The smaller you can keep your center, the better. Kind of like our other bows. That way when you tighten it up, it doesn't, you know, look crazy. There's our first part. Look how stinking cute that is. Oh my gosh. Look at that. So freaking cute. Okay. We're going to go ahead and put on our little button. So I have two of these. Okay, he's got to go. He's on my nerves. Come on. Go. Come on. Go get him. Go get him. Go get him. Go get him. Okay, so I have two buttons. We're going to have to take it. We're going to take this pin out. And we are going to try to cut this piece off in the center right there. I don't know if you can see that, because I had a pin running through it. So I'm going to try to cut it off as close as I can. It doesn't have to be perfect. Also, shield your eyes. so it doesn't get you. And also hold on to your button because when you clip it, it's going to go flying. Okay, let me find it. Where did it go? Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm going to find that button later. We're going to do the same thing with this one. Cause I just like, gosh, I probably made a dent in my wall. Okay, let's do this one again. I was afraid it was going to do that. Okay, I think that's flush enough. Yeah. Oh, I don't have my hot glue fired up. That's okay, because what I think we need to do is some clear gel tacky glue, because it holds well and it dries clear. Let's see. Where is it at? I thought I brought it in here, but I guess I didn't. Okay, let's see if we can get some of this glue out. Because y'all know we love Gorilla Glue. So I'm going around the edge of the button, a little bit in the middle. We're going to stick this on. Ooh. I'm rubbing a little bit off the sides so it doesn't totally go out of the sides, but it does dry clear too. Alright, we're going to stick that on and we're going to move it and let it dry. So I'm just using what I have here since I don't have that other stuff. That way I'm not chasing it and you guys are waiting again because it's already been a little bit of a cluster. Okay, now to the easier part. Now also, we need to cut up some of our fun stuff that we're adding so we can add it as we go as well. Let's get it opened up. These little heart pieces are so cute. Harlequin, obviously. If y'all know me, y'all know I love Harlequin, all the things. Now, do we want to put in some of this lace? Maybe the black? I don't know, that white might be kind of fun. Or a little prettier. Yeah, I think we're going to add a little bit of it. Okay, let's see how long pieces we need. Let's measure these out. Okay, so these are, how long did we say? Well, I'm going to have to cut this off. That border. Gosh, new scissors. Okay, so these are about 26 inches. So we'll do a few of each that long. Where's the end of this? Oh, there it is. It's got tape on it. Probably so it doesn't come unraveled. See? Like I just did. Okay, let's cut a few of these. We're just kind of approximate. They don't have to be perfect. Okay, we'll do 3 of those. Now we're going to do some of these that length, and then we're going to do some a little bit shorter because we're also going to stack this one as well. then you'll see what I mean. You're going to do some longer pieces and some shorter pieces. So that way it's not just the bow on top and then the long piece. You want it stacked for sure. Okay, let's do some a little bit shorter. Not much shorter, but just a little bit. Probably about, let's see, this is 20 inches. Oh, never mind. We're gonna cut this one in half. There we go. Ran out of pieces, so we're gonna make do with what we got. All right, so here's our short and our long. Now I need to be mindful of that when I'm cutting up this one. This heart one is so cute. It's so thin, so it's gonna really add a really cute, dainty look to the bow. I'm gonna cut this one a little bit shorter. And this one a little bit shorter. Because I definitely want this whole thing sprinkled throughout for sure. If y'all have learned anything about me by now, y'all know I don't measure anything. I measure for you guys because I try to give y'all a reference, but like when I'm doing something, I'm just going with it. See, now he's whining for me again because they went outside. So now he wants in. It's like having a newborn, y'all. Now this one, let's see how long this one is. Ooh, this one's only 9 foot. Okay. So, gotta be careful. If I'm cutting them at 2 foot, I don't get very many. But this rickrack is so cute. Alright, let's cut a couple of short ones. There we go. Okay, so we have all of our trim cut up. Now let's start building our ends. Oh my gosh, my nose. Okay, I'm gonna build it on my Easy Bow Maker. I love my Easy Bow Maker. Okay, I'm gonna do it this way. Let's get started. So I'm folding it in half, essentially. And we're just gonna start shoving these down in there and building it up. And this is really gonna hold it in place. Now see, this is not gonna be a very long rag bow. If you wanted a longer rag bow, you need to make sure when you're buying material to buy it that way for the way that you cut it. Okay, so there's that one, and now let's just start building. We have all the rest of these ribbons to use. So now we don't have to try to be mindful and not use all of them. You see, that one's shorter, and that's okay. You want it stacked. But you do want to use your thicker ones down on the bottom, and we can work our way up to the skinnier ones. And if we get down here and these black and white ones are too long, then, you know, way longer than the rest of the bow, we'll trim those up. That's fine too. Okay, let's go pink or coral. And you want to try to keep these as flat as possible. So make sure you put them in there correctly. Okay, let's go ahead and add some of our fun. So we're just going to throw in a piece of this rickrack. Because this is the bottom of the bow, so it's going to be mostly covered. So we want to make sure we save our fun stuff. Okay, let's go. I don't have much pink left, so we're just going to start over, and we're going to save that pink for closer to the top. And so now at this point, it's just a repeat process, kind of like a garland. If you do one side, you do the other side the same. Oh, I forgot I have this solid red too. We need to go ahead and get that placed in there. Use those more boring colors towards the bottom. Where am I at? Coral. Uh-oh. Pulling at my strings. And you don't have to use all of these. If you think you're getting it, you know, if it's getting too thick for you, and you're like, no, that's good, then just stop. You know, find your own stopping point. All right, let's throw in some stuff. Throw in some of these lacy pieces. It is Valentine's Day. He's so mad. He is so mad. Okay, I guess I'll put him in. Come on. But you gotta come in and lay down, because Mommy's still teaching. Now where was I? Okay, black and white. No, lay down. Yes?
Testing. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I'm doing my tutorial and the dog is in here and he won't stop whining.
You want to give him to me?
Yeah, I just let him back in because he wouldn't stop whining at the door. Here you go.
Hey, Phil, can I have a burrito?
No. Sorry, guys. Here you go. Thank you. We're going to pretend like my husband wasn't just standing there dancing for me.
Oh!
And and shutting his finger in the door. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's just keep stacking. Keep stacking. Pretend like that cluster didn't just happen. Oh, I keep forgetting that solid red. It's on the bottom. All right, let's throw a Harlequin print in here. And I'm actually going to cut these ends. I'm just going to slant them instead of like dovetailing. I'm just slanting them up just to give them a little touch of character. And I'm going to go ahead and throw in one of these heart pieces as well. Okay, where am I at? All right, let's go coral. We're going to go red again. We're going to go pink. pink do I have left? Let's see. One. Holy, look at that mess of string. Oh, yikes. Get out of here. Okay, I still have several pink left. Okay, here's some bigger pieces. Stick those in there. Let's add another piece of our rickrack. Let's go red and white polka dots. Let's really stack it up. Let's go lace. All right, black and white. This is a very thick piece. I'm not going to use it. I'm going to start using some of my smaller ones, my medium-sized ones. Now you think this is really stacking up, but once you put it together, you're gonna be like, that's a tiny bow. That's why we're putting so many. It's gonna seem like we're using way too much ribbon, but we're really not. This is great to make these if you turn on like a Netflix show, one of your favorite shows, turn it on and just sit and make a bunch of these if that's something that you want to sell in your shop, or if you're just wanting to, you know, put it on your own wreath. I think I'm done with those super thick black and white pieces. I have enough of the smaller ones. Let's see, how are we looking? Okay, now what we're gonna start doing is we're gonna start getting a little bit shorter so we can start stacking this bow. So everything else we put on here, we're just gonna clip a little bit off. Actually, what we're gonna do first, let me see, how long are these? Okay, I guess these black and whites don't look awkward. I was worried they were gonna be too awkwardly long compared to the other pieces, but they don't look bad. It looks more, it gives it more layers. I am gonna chop off the, any of those border pieces that I forgot. I am just gonna cut those off real quick. Just so I don't have to go through and do the whole bow after I'm already done. And I'm gonna angle these hearts, just like I did the Harlequin, just cutting them up, just so that has a little bit of life. It's just not boring. And that's literally just me playing around with this. I'm kind of just taking my time, having fun with it, thinking, you know, thinking about it as I go. This is definitely one of those crafts to have fun with. It also keeps you from getting burnt out on making wreaths. Okay. What do we want to start with? I think we're going to go red and white polka dot. And we're just going to cut a little bit off. We're going to stick it down in here. Okay, that's a little short. That's okay. We're not going to cut it off quite that much next time. So we're just going to cut a little bit of this one off. We're going to come in with a short piece of the lace. Definitely have to cut a pretty good bit of this off. You don't want them all the same length. Should have cut this end off. I didn't know how to border on that side. If they're all the same length, it's not going to be cute. Just like a haircut. You don't go in and say, make it the same all the way around. Oh Lord, the heater just came on. Oh, it's going to get hot in here. So we're just layering it like a bow. My gosh, my nose is itching so bad. It's like I cannot scratch it good enough. Oh, where's our solid red? Okay, let's come in with our short harlequin. It's already short enough. I'm going to go ahead and slant those ends while I'm here so I don't forget. Let's see, what else do I have? Some coral. Valentine piece. Oh, these are scraps. Get out of here. Let's do a short piece of the rickrack. Some black and whites. Pink. More Valentine. Really want that Valentine to show, and that's why we left the majority of it for the top. Small pieces, small pieces. Gonna work our way a little bit shorter. We're not gonna get crazy short, but we just want a little shorter just for that third layer. Just a little bit. Should really finish stacking this bow. Let's go black and whites. Rickrack. Red and white polka dot. Oh, forgot to cut it. Harlequin. I have a couple more Valentine too. I'm going to throw that one in there. Now, okay, let me tell you. These are 16 inches. So that third layer, I'm putting 16 inches in there. That second layer, they were probably about 19. In that first layer, they were about 21. So you got 21, 19, 16 is kind of how I worked my way up here. What else we got? It's a tiny piece of lace. Throw that in there. What else? What else? What else? How many more tiny pieces do we have? This is a thin one. Let's put it in. Let's throw that in right here. Let's do coral, pink. Let's go pink. I definitely want to use all my corals and my pinks because that red and black can really overpower, and that coral and pink just really soften it up to help with that dainty look that we're going, the little bit of dainty look that we're going for Valentine's Day. There we go. Okay, let's go Harlequin. Definitely want to, I don't want to waste any of my trim, so definitely want to throw that in there. There we go. Okay, we have one. Let's see if I can cut this in half. 2 more Valentine. I think we can work with that. Okay, so let's go coral. Like this. Oh, here's some black and white. Just like this. How small is this piece? And these are just going to bring the texture down from that bow. When it's stacked like that, it's really going to work its way down. So we really don't have a whole lot left. I mean, I have this pile. We really used the majority of it. Okay, so let's throw a Valentine in. Cut it up. Slant. Slant. Oh, I still have this rickrack left too. Just one piece. My gosh, my scissors have gotten so dull. Good gracious. Throw that in there. I'm loving this. I hope it turns out great when we pick it up. We will find out. Okay, do I have any pink or coral left? No, that's a tiny piece of scrap. I do have this piece left. It's too big. Let's see if we can get it in half. Get those strings off. There we go. Too big, too big. Any skinnies? Any more skinnies? This one. And we'll go rickrack Valentine right on top. Slant, slant. Just like that. Ta-da! And we have a mountain that looks like a whole lot of nothing right now. Okay, let's see if I can just trim some of these excess strings off. We know there's going to be a lot. Just be careful when you're pulling not to pull the whole thing through. Okay guys, now it's time to tie it up. I don't know if you're ready for this. Let me see if this is dry. Oh yeah, that's good and dry. Look how cute it is. It's so pretty. And see, because we built it up, it's not even starched, but it still stays pretty well stacked. Now this back doesn't, but that's okay because it's gonna go in our wreath like this. That's terrible lighting. There we go. That looks better. Okay, let's flip this over and make sure you have sight of your strands, of your ties. Now, let's take our stack. Now this could be a little bit difficult. I don't want to tie it on like that. Oh, I was trying to make it work. Alright, I'm grabbing both sides. That way it stays tight. And I'm lifting out. Okay, I'm letting go of that side and I'm grabbing it right here. I would also recommend running a tie here when you do this, but this is just how we're doing it. It is what it is. Okay, this was our front. Just had to get that flipped over. Okay. Okay. Think we're good. Think we're good. Trying to make sure nothing got worked to the back. Let's take these two ties and tie it up. Now before I double knot this, I'm going to work it down and make sure everything is correctly in place. The way that I like it. Move everything around. Everything's front facing. Oh, this is so cute. Okay, let's double knot. So you know this piece, work that to the front. There we go. All right, let's finish this off like that. And see, now these match and you don't have to cut them off and they can just stay as part of your bow. Now this tie right here is kind of hanging in the front. That's okay. We'll move it around. Now I'm just kind of pulling, I'm holding my main bow and then just kind of pulling these around a little bit because you want those tails to go, more toward the bottom. And if you don't like where it's at, just untie it and retie it. But I think we're okay. What do you guys think? What do y'all think about that? How precious. Like, that is so stinking cute. Because it's just like it doesn't have to be perfect. Now, are there some on Etsy that probably look better than this? Oh, yeah. Duh. Some people do this for a living. This is like their main thing they sell. For us, we were saving some money. We wanted to make them ourselves. And I wanted to teach you guys how to make them in case y'all wanted to make them for your shop. So you can alter it any way you'd like. Whatever you think works better for you, do it. All for it. I'm all for it. But this is the general idea of the rag bow. Let me see where my ties are. I don't want to start getting crazy with this because if I do, it's all going to start falling apart. And I don't want that either. Now you can make them longer. Like I said, this one's a pretty short, chunky rag bow. And when it's starched, it's fun and like it's crunchy. So it just gives it a lot of texture. There it is. Look how cute. And now the longer it stays, or the longer it goes, the more it'll fray, which this is the one thing that we're okay with fraying, right? I'm actually going to cut a few of these. Some of these are just a little long, a little too long for me. And so I'm going to play around with it a little bit more just so I can make sure I have all the stuff worked to the front that I want. But see this tie right here? This tie is not being my friend. So I'm going to get in here. I'm going to chop it off. Because it's just like an eyesore right there in the middle. Bye-bye. There we go. So I'm going to get in here and just try to work some of my other stuff to the front. I don't pull too much. You don't want to pull everything out. I just want to work all that good stuff to the front. Make sure everything's getting seen that I want to be seen. And then we are going to put this bad boy in a wreath. And it's going to be adorable. And I have the most perfect sign all ready to go with it. It's going to be super cute. So anyway, thanks for joining, guys. I'm so glad you're here. I hope y'all liked this tutorial. We're going to have many more little craft projects to come. So I hope y'all are excited. Sorry for the lighting. I have to go take a picture of this outside. All right, guys. I'll see y'all later. Bye.